Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to do one more game here with Free. Definitely wanted to take a look at his Protoss versus Zerg. So it's going to be Free here in the bottom right of Metropolis, going up against 815, another player we haven't seen for a bit. I would say overall the cheesiest pro. I wouldn't even call it aggressive. Well, it is aggressive by definition, but like the cheesiest pro, right? I normally think of like maybe Zealot as the most aggressive pro, something like that. But like literally we see like more 4 pools by 815 than all other pros combined, that type of thing. Okay, like it's insane how much he cheeses. Yeah, so I actually want to address the PVZ of Free. So he was known kind of for having strong Protoss for Zerg. That was kind of the feeling of him, and especially my feeling of him back during Kespa days. And then someone pointed out to me that he actually had a higher win rate in Protoss vs. Terran. Now, I still say that he was kind of a PVZ specialist because his Protoss vs. Terran didn't seem like really anything special. There wasn't like extra stuff there. But yes, his win rate was better. Now, I wonder what your guys' opinion is on this because, for instance, for myself, now, memes aside, okay? I consider my best matchup to be Terran versus Protoss. Now, my win rates are higher in Terran versus Terran and Terran versus Zerg. But I actually think my best matchup is Terran versus Protoss. And I think that these two conflicting types of ideas can be held at the same time. Different matchups require different qualities and have different difficulties. And I think that there's a lot of people that would agree that my Terran versus Protoss is better than my other two matchups, though it seems my win rate in the other two matchups is higher. Right, so I don't know if that is something that I sound insane saying, but that's what I feel about Free as well, where I'm like, no, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I just casted 2 Protoss vs. Terrans that looked great from Free, but I'm talking more historically from Free back in the Kespa days. It was more impressive. Like, every Protoss picks up wins against Terran. Like, that's a fact. And then, like, it's how you differentiate yourself is the strength of your Protoss vs. Zerg. Anyways, let me know what you think about that, guys. All right, thank you for watching. See you next time. Yeah, so just let me know what you think about that. Now, this is a fake cannon rush. He does not have a forge. Cancel. He forces a couple drones to come out. 815 did not overreact. I thought we'd see a stronger reaction. It's kind of a weird location because we have like an unbuildable rock there, so I don't think it's even like a tight wall. I don't think he was that scared, but Free attempts to scare him. 6 lings on the way. It was a gateway expansion opener, so like, I mean, I guess we'll have a little bit of Zealot pressure, but like, yeah, I don't know what he's going to do cross map. I think we're just going to see it. Yeah, Nexus does get made. Okay, I didn't notice that, but makes sense. Makes sense to me. 3rd hatchery going up here for 815. And the probe just going to continue to kind of rotate around and get some scouting intel done. The lings coming across the map. Zealot's going to get back in time, I think. He probably is going to have to pull a probe out. Not too surprising to see 6 lings right off the bat from 815 and the counterattack. I think, like, if you're... Well, I mean, this alone can kind of deal with that. But if you get a good surround on one, things could go wrong. Okay, fills it all out. Okay, that looks good. Looks solid from Free. Now, layer gets started. Hey, this is like, it's funny because I talk about how 815 is kind of a cheeser. The thing is, once you get to pro gamer level, you're good at everything. Like, we can see solid macro games out of, you know, and standard strategies out of basically everyone that's high up. But, you know, when it comes down to tournaments, you're going to see 815 cheese just about every game. We don't see that here. Now, it could turn into a cheese still, but... everything here looks super normal. Speed is on the way. Layers coming up. It looks like it'll be a Spire opening. It doesn't have to be. But I'll keep my eye out to see if there's anything cheesy that appears. Now, Forge here, Cybernetics Core here. I actually hadn't noticed that, but that is the case. So it's Free has done a good job of kind of optimizing towards, you know, like slightly more greedy opener. By the way, the 2 Zealots going up, I don't see any reaction here from 815. He must have missed that as they walked by, like his lings were not in the greatest position. And these two zealots will go behind the mineral patches and just kind of be a little bit of a nuisance right there. Spire gets started from 815, brings his lings over. He is going to make a few more, excuse me, as well. This is really dirty to clean up, but he'll be able to do it. He's made enough lings. Oh, and gets good surround on that last one as he kills the first zealot. So clears out those two zealots, but not a terrible play, I think, here from Free. Citadel on the way, +1 is coming. Corsairs being made. Senka Gas already mining as well. +1 air attacks. Spire a little over halfway done from 815. Droning pretty heavily. He's done a good job getting that drone count up, I think. Circling speed is done, and he'll be able to get these to the front and kind of keep an eye on zealots coming out in the future. That Corsair coming across. Hasn't found an Overlord yet to kill off. Where are they? There's one. Oh, they're all over here. Okay, I think he'll just barely get this one and get out of there. Flyer Carapace instantly starting. So it looks like probably we'll have Mutalisks actually being utilized here from 815. I'm actually kind of interested in watching him play a macro Muta game. Now, we're going to definitely want to see from Free him going home and protecting his Corsair count and building that up a little bit. And you can see these two Corsairs, additionally, patrolling the bottom. This is a funny place to have a bunch of Overlords, but they did not get found, so it actually works out, right? There's a lot of games where you would have gotten 2 Overlords, but he's only gotten 1. So good defense here from 815. I like seeing 815 play like a straight-up macro game like this. This all looks like pretty solid, pretty good normal macro play from him, you know? If you were to ask me, like cover up the names, ask me who this was, I wouldn't really know. It's kind of standard. Nothing about it looks super stylistic or anything. You know, getting the +1 flyer carapace and droning pretty heavily and everything. I'm like, I don't know. You know, it could be like Larva or something. Any good high-level Zerg? Like pretty standard, nice play. Hydralis Den goes down. He does already have the +1 missile attack started, by the way. That's part of his SimCity, so why not? Okay, the Zealot's getting in here now. Good drones there. Drone stacking, I guess. Drilling to get away. Muta's going to be popping out to help out against these Zealots, but it looks like the Zealots, they might be able to get this hatchery. Looks like it's getting very low indeed. Oh my gosh, is he not going to get it? Yeah, no, he's going to get it. Okay, never mind. All right, good hatchery snipe. So that's definitely a big chunk of production. He was on 6 hatch, or yeah, he was on 6 hatch and now on 5. So great job there against 815. But 815 now going to have a good amount of Mutalisks. He's going to have that flyer carapace pretty quickly. Already 6 Corsairs, 7th about to pop, and +1. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard to make this work. DT coming out. Overlord well placed. Overlord well placed. The game right now to me looks pretty even overall, but I actually like 815's position a little bit more. I think he's actually done a really good job. Look at the drone count. 54 probes, 52 drones. I think here you just switch heavily into Hydralisk production. Like, you don't need more drones than this. This is getting a little bit insane. Zerg does not generally need that many workers. He's really droned up. So he's going to be able to macro easily. He's going to be able to take a 4th base easily here. But there is a DT out, so you never know. He might be able to like snipe a drone, slow those bases a little bit. Looks like a Scourge did end up hitting one of the Corsairs, but only one. Oh, gets rid of those. One does connect, though, as you can see. Not the best engaged there, that's for sure. Oh, wow. If he removes all these, the DT is just going to slip in and ruin everything. And you got to know that that's exactly what's coming when he spends that many Corsairs. Okay, got to get that DT up there right now. Corsairs continue to move forward here for free as his DT gets into this base. Oh my god. 815. Dude, what are we... Okay, he's just focusing on getting rid of the Corsairs, but he's losing infinity drones. 12 kills? 12 kills, but he gets all the Corsairs. So there might be counterplay potential here. Because there's no more Corsairs, it's really hard to walk out with this army. It's like a Zealot High Templar army, kind of old school. No Dragoons as of yet. Dragoon range has been started, and maybe he goes into pure Dragoon production. I think that there might be like a way if he just makes like 12 Dragoons and then starts moving out. Like maybe that's enough to bowl him over. But yeah, that 12 kill DT really doing quite a job on him. I think the Mutalisk play is going to be an important comeback factor here for 815. He killed every Corsair. If you're going to sacrifice 12 drones because your attention is so heavily on killing Corsairs and you end up killing all of them, you need to make your Mutas do something. Your Mutas can't just sit. Right now, protecting this top right hatch, it looks like a single Zealot running up is making him chase everywhere. Look, it's a full group of Mutas. There's not a Corsair. Like, I feel like we're missing a timing here. I think that you can see now some holes, even though the game looked pretty normal from 815. You're seeing like an error here where he's not immediately flying across the map. You have a full group of Mutas and you killed every single Corsair. You need to fly across and get something done. But I think what the plan must be here is he's going to snipe High Templars, and that's going to be like the entirety of his game plan is I'm going to crush the first army that comes out, and then I'm on 4 base and I win. And it might work. There is potential in this strategy. Look at that macro, man. Look at that pylon block. Lots of Hydras in the center here for 815. Okay, here we go. The engagement is occurring. Good size storm on those Mutas to start. But the High Templar is picked off. Only fighting units right now. Seems like Free will kind of stabilize both positions. So I think he actually has a few too many units up here and not quite enough here. Because this is actually the most important area. You must defend this well. Since you're high ground and it's a small ramp, you don't need as many units up here. So I definitely feel like this is a little bit of a mistake. Like, we need to pull back a few units. Keep some up here. You need to get that area set up. The 4th base is very important. But, like, yeah, High Templar, a small group of goons. Pull back some of the Zealots. Pull back some of the goons. Hold this position. Because I do think that there was maybe a timing here with all those units up there for all the Hydras just pour into this area and take it over. Okay, looking back at 815's base, a Queen's Nest is being made, so we should see that Hive start up. He's on 4 base. If he can play 4 base Hive, that could be tough for Free to deal with. But Free getting this 3rd Nexus up with a gas at it is very, very important indeed. He's going to be able to really expand his High Templar count. You can see he's unbelievably goon heavy. About to have that +2 armor. Observers coming out as well, but there's... Well, I guess the very first Lurkers have been morphed already. Not really anywhere forward on the map. It seems like a very defensive position, and that works. Like, if you look at this, like I was talking about down here, right? This is the 2 defensive areas that you have. Same is true for Zerg. You're not going to break up here. So he's got most of them here, and then this is a ramp. And he'll eventually get a Nidus as Hive finishes up. So pretty well defended. A lot of Hydras and Mutas rotating around along the bottom of the map. Quite a few Overlords down here, but I don't believe he has drop. Wow, the probe actually scouts that big army. I feel like you want to go deal with that. Yeah. Free going to start to move down. All right, decent Mutalisk movement there. He ends up getting the High Templar, but yeah, a lot of them take huge damage from that storm. And now Free is going to crush all of these Hydras. Okay, so what this needs to do is lead into a base kill. He's just killed off a huge amount of the supply. I guess you could try to take that as a 4th, but I feel like you're so spread out and already Hive is on the way and you're on such a high Dragoon ratio in your army. I don't think you're going to have any better timing to win this game as Free than right now. Adrenal on the way, double Defiler Mound. So he recognizes that he wants to get Plague and Consume out immediately. Once Defilers are on the board with Plague and Consume, it's going to become really, really hard to break through with these Dragoons. Seriously, like, I think this is the moment for Free to get something big done. Circling counterattack coming to the bottom. 0-0 Lings fighting against 1-2 Protoss army. Doesn't quite get the kill there. I guess good storms. The army is huge for Free right now. He really seriously has to break something. I'm getting a little nervous because, like, he's getting the 4th base. It's just like, are you going to be able to hold on once the Defilers are out? When, like, I mean, nothing really counters goons more than Plague and Dark Swarm, right? And then Crackling's out all over the place. I guess their upgrades suck, so that helps. Dude, he really wants that Nexus. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, my man. All right, here we go. The attack is incoming. There are a million billion Lurkers up here. All right, Storms 1. A lot of them are very clumped, so if he has a decent amount of Storms left, let's take a look. 1 there. Oh, that's it? He's got 1 more Storm. Can he actually break through the whole thing? Plague and Consume are on the way right now, but not done yet. First Defiler coming out. A lot of Lings being produced. Mass Lurker against Mass Goon. Well, he's breaking through all the Lurkers. Getting some Observer upgrades in the meantime. A big flank coming in from 815. Moves forward. Gonna go ahead and bro. Dude, that Storm, insane. Insane. Kills multiple Lurkers, brings the rest down, but the flank here from 815 does seem to be too strong. That's painful. And now the Defiler upgrades are finishing. The Nidus is done. 5th base being taken. 815 looks to be in complete control of this game, but it is a 4-base Free. So Free still has some potential. If he can hold off this attack, kind of rebuild into lots of Storm, maybe add a few Archons in, he definitely has some better upgrades overall. I guess the Hydra upgrades are pretty good, but the Ling ones are a little bit lacking. He's got 2 upgrades coming, so he's going to be on 3 armor, 2 attack. But yeah, this little group of units out here getting a bit surrounded. DT trying to help out. You know, once you lose that one army that has, like, your High Templars and Goons in it and stuff, to have to remake those, you know, keeping those high value units alive long term is really, really crucial, and he was unable to do that. So 815 moves forward, throws down some Dark Storms. Not that they're going to be that useful here, but still somewhat useful. Archon's going to be missing. Can's going to be missing. GG is called. I don't know how I feel about that game. It was definitely an interesting one. Yeah, I think 815 getting the Corsairs was kind of big, but then he didn't counterattack. And I think that we basically didn't see the trigger pulled quickly enough by Free. I think once you kill all the Hydras and Mutas down here, you just have to do something big. And eventually he attacked here, but it was a little bit late. It was a little bit late, and then the flank came out. Maybe it's better to attack up here. Not 100% sure. One of those 2 locations is correct. Never going to squeeze up this ramp. Anyways, it's been fun to watch Free. Free's looking pretty darn good. I'll definitely be looking really closely at him once the ASL qualifiers get announced, or leading up to there. We don't know the date for the next ASL, but definitely someone I'm going to be keeping on my radar. Overall, I think he looked pretty strong. And 815, not bad this game. Not bad. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.